Hello, Mark here from Cosmic Audio, and today we're asking the question, is this the best value audio interface money can buy? So this bad boy is the Focusrite Clarett 8 Preamps, and as well as being a 8-channel great sounding interface with 8 mic preamps, 8 outputs, ADAT connectivity, all the stuff you could want from an audio interface, it's got a hidden secret weapon, and we'll talk about that a bit later. But first of all, let's go over the basics. So as I said, we've got 8 inputs on the back, we've got 8 microphone inputs on XLRs, and we've also got 8 line inputs on 1/4-inch jacks. You can leave both of those connected at the same time and then use the Focusrite control software to switch between the two. So with your line inputs and your 8 outputs, you could quite feasibly plug in a load of hardware compressors or EQs or whatever you want, and leave those permanently connected and then just route them where you want using your DAW and using the software that comes with it. So nice and flexible for routing. The mic preamps, let's talk a bit about those. Now, those that know me well will know that I think a lot of the hype for mic preamps and flash boutique mic preamps is just that. I think a load of it's rubbish, and I think basically you just need lots of good clean gain from a mic preamp, and this gives you that. Now, interestingly, it's also got what Focusrite call the air function, which models the impedance of their famous ISA microphone preamp. Now, we have ISA microphone preamps, and without the air switched in, to me, they sound very similar. They sound so similar, I'd have absolutely no hesitation if I was doing a session with drum tracking. I'd have no hesitation in putting a left overhead in the ISA and a right overhead mic in one of these. That wouldn't bother me at all. It's that close. With the air switched in, to me, it basically just boosts the top end a bit, to a point where I'm thinking, do I really want that much top end? So don't tend to use it with the air switched in at all. If you've got one of these and you use it with the air switched in all the time, then let us know in the comments below and let us know what you think. But with that switched off, just as a plain Jane mic preamp, it sounds fantastic. There's loads of gain there. Common problem that you get with a lot of budget interfaces, and it's really no different with this, is that with your pots for the input, you tend to find on your microphone you've got gain, little bit of gain, little bit of gain, bit more gain, bit more gain, oh, tons of gain, and a lot of the sort of final gain stage seems to be in the top 10% turn of the pot, which can make not only setting an accurate level a little bit difficult, but because these aren't detented or really marked in any way, matching 2 for a stereo pair can be a little bit tricky. But that's kind of the same with any other interface in this kind of price range. There's tons of reviews of these out there, so I won't dwell on the basics too much. Suffice to say that you've got 48 volt phantom power, you've got a high pass filter, you've got a phase switch on the front. The air circuit is an actual analog circuit in the box itself, but that needs to be switched on and off in the software. So there's plenty of room on the front panel to have a switch, physical switch on the front to engage that in and out would have been great, but there we go. We've got comprehensive metering on the front, a nice big monitor control, and 2 headphone amps with individual volume controls. Going around to the back again, as I said before, 8 inputs on XLR, 8 line inputs on jack. We've got 8 line outputs plus your 2 stereo monitoring outputs. We've got word clock in and out. We've got MIDI in and out, we've got SpeedIF in and out, and we've got 2 lots of ADAT in and out, which brings me to the only real gripe with this interface, and a frustrating thing for this interface when you're talking a professional studio scenario, and that is if you want more than 8 channels, you've got to use ADAT. Now, I don't know about you, but I was done with ADAT in 1996, couldn't wait to see the back of it, and we're still having to use it today to connect interfaces together. It connects to your computer using Thunderbolt, and if you could daisy chain 2 or 3 of these devices using another Thunderbolt socket, that would be absolutely fantastic. So Focusrite, for the Mark II, could we please have Thunderbolt daisy chainability, if that's even a word? That would be fantastic. So on taking a look inside the unit, we can see that the build quality is great. Certainly externally, it's built like a tank. It's very solidly built indeed. Good metal chassis. Boards are mounted nicely. The XLRs and jacks are properly mounted on the back of the unit and not just hanging off a circuit board. So it's very nicely put together inside. I was talking a bit about a hidden secret weapon with this box, and there's one huge selling point, and that is the sound quality. The quality of the converters in this unit are absolutely astounding, and I can't overemphasize that enough, almost to the point where I think that there might have been some sort of mistake, and someone on Focusrite's design team must have put the wrong converters in the product when they were designing it, or they only had super high-end ones left on the shelf. But you've got 119 dB of dynamic range for a start, so that blows pretty much everything else in its price range out the water, and you can really hear that as well. But the quality of the stereo output of this thing is, we do a lot of mastering here at Cosmic Audio, and I use this for mastering because it sounds as good as anything I've heard out there. We've compared it directly with other interfaces, and we've done blind A/B tests, and everyone that's sat in this chair and listened to the sound coming out the monitors, when you switch it between various interfaces, everyone can pick out the Clarett every time within seconds, and it's every time. It's been repeatable. The quality of the converters on this thing are just absolutely stunning. You can really hear it. So to my mind, if you've got £800 to spend and you just want a stereo converter, you just want stereo outputs for monitoring, for mastering, you're going to have to hunt to find something that sounds better than this, because this is an absolutely astounding piece of kit for the money. In the UK, you can pick them up brand new on the high street for between £700 and £800. It's a bargain. It's a total bargain. So if you're looking for an interface and you want 8 channels, then you won't go wrong with one of these. If you get a crap sound at the end of it, it's not the fault of this, it's the fault of something you're doing or something else in the chain. If you want a 2-channel interface, just buy this and don't use 6 of the channels, or go for one of the smaller ones in the range. They do the 8 Pre, which hasn't got as many outputs and hasn't got the line inputs, I don't think, on separate jacks, and there's a couple of smaller ones as well. Whether the converters are the same in those, I don't know. If anyone from Focusrite is watching, perhaps you could put that in the comments below. But certainly this, compared with other interfaces from manufacturers like PreSonus and Apogee and some of the big ones, this blows them out of the water. It absolutely blows them out of the water. I can pick which one is this every single time, and that really says something. And it's better. It's not just different, it's noticeably better. The dynamic range is better, the transients are better, they're faster. I know it sounds cliche to say that something's got depth when you're listening to it, but my god, this has depth. The imaging is fantastic. You can hear everything in the stereo image, exactly where you place it. There's noticeable front to back depth, there's height in the sound. If you're using really good monitors and listening to this puppy, you can't go wrong. It sounds absolutely amazing. So well done Focusrite. Whether it was a mistake or not, I don't know, and you shouldn't have put such converters in a product that doesn't cost £3,000. I have no idea, but this blows some interfaces that do cost £3,000 out the water, and it blows a lot of standalone stereo converters out of the water as well. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So there we go. Is this the best value audio interface you can buy in 2018? Yeah, I really think it is. It's amazing. Go get one.